Hi and welcome in. I'm Joy. If this is your first time here, welcome to Mystical Joy to the World. I hope that this message can bring some type of clarification or joy to your life today. At least put a smile on your face. I am not a traditional tarot reader, and I will just bring through whatever message I feel that is flowing through me. So let's dive in. Calling on the Holy Spirit. I already did cleanse with Palo Santo. Calling on the Holy Spirit to take over this reading. I open myself as a channel to the divine, only for messages for the highest and greatest good of all, from beings of light, from the angels, from ancestors, past on, loved ones of the light. Any disruptive devil energy that is trying to interfere with this reading or cause distraction or interruption, be gone at this time. Allow whatever messages are meant to come through, come through. Attention to detail. There's something about doing something in a very particular way makes all the difference. Maybe this is, like, I was starting off with a really messy shuffle, and now I'm just called to continue shuffling and take my time, and I don't feel rushed all of a sudden. I feel very confident and secure in taking my time to do something the right way. There's something about that wants to come through. Take your time to do something in a certain way, and it will be received. Help me here, Spirit. Well, how to explain this? When you complete something with presence and intentionality, it is received as it is meant to be received, rather than having your stamp on it. There's something about that. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles coming out for the overall energy. Spirit, what message do you have for the collective today about this thing that they're completing with intentionality and with focus and with presence? The Hermit. So take your time. I just heard lock in. Take your time, lock in, do it in the right way. This Knight of Pentacles came out in the reverse. However, I don't always read cards in the reverse. I'm not feeling called to read this one in the reverse. So I'm noticing this Knight of Pentacles card. Right, Pentacles is material things, objects, growth, finances, tangible items, right? And it looks like this Knight of Pentacles has taken the time to allow his antlers to grow. You know, you don't, he didn't wake up like this, right? You don't wake up like this as a baby deer. It takes time to get that great rack of antlers. What's the term that I'm thinking? To become a buck, right? To have something to show off and stand behind. There's something about standing behind what you're doing with full force requires you to take the time to allow it to grow, rather than when you're a fresh baby deer, in a sense, just getting up and going for it, right? So maybe if he had gone for the opportunities to gain these pentacles, right? So this is talking about tangible action, right? And gaining tangible momentum or making progress or growth in a certain area. So this might be with your personal finances. This might be a business endeavor. And there's something about when you're fresh and young, although, you know, a knight is a young energy. You've got the passion, you've got the drive, you know, he's geared up, he's ready to go, he's got his pentacle shield. However, he had to allow it time to grow, to grow what is going to be impressive. And had he not waited for this stunning display to grow on its own from his crown, right? So there's something about your intellect coming through and turning into tangible results, right? This is coming out of his crown chakra, right? So that's what's been going on in the background, is you've taken the time. You may have known the direction you wanted to go, or there might be a project that you've been working on or sitting on, right? You've been in hermit mode. And I'm just noticing this, the hermit, right? Got little baby wings, but look at the intricate design here. Very similar to the intricate design we're seeing on the Knight of Pentacles. And in hermit mode, you have allowed the intricacies of all the ideas that are coming through your crown chakra, that are coming from the downloads that you're getting from divine. These are our intuitive nudges, whether this has to do with where you want to invest your money, how you want to save your money, spend your money, what business direction you want to go in, the next step for your business, the next step in your career. So you may have had all these great ideas, and it's just taken some time and required you to pull back a little bit and allow it to be established and be intricate. Maybe because wisdom grows with experience, with lived experience. You know, the first time a candle maker or whoever put this wrought iron into the flame and was molding it, it didn't come out like that. That wasn't their first candle holder, which is interesting. This Hermit card, I'm really feeling called towards the candles, right? And this ironwork here rather than the Hermit himself. But it's the energy of the card, right? So there's something about allowing yourself the lived experience in order to be able to show this depth, this wisdom, right? And now it's very clear to see. He doesn't even have to say anything. He can just roll up into a battle, right? He looks like he's geared up for battle. And he may only have one pentacle, but it's a pentacle shield. It's solid. He's ready. And people know, oh, he's got some lived experience there, right? So he's got the wisdom to back that pentacle, you know? Same thing here. It's taken time to really hone your craft in whatever way that may be for you. And we've got the Hierophant coming out. Wow. So the Hierophant and the Hermit came out together. And the Hierophant, if you notice, he's in this Buddhist monk robe, right? And he's holding the key. And he's already crowned. He's already crowned the Hierophant. So if you notice the crows here behind the Hermit, little baby wings, right? Little baby angel wings. And you nurtured that in silence, in seclusion, right? But that's the sacrifice you were willing to make in order to receive the key. The crow here, you know, has now turned into the crowned Hierophant, right? This is mastery. This is you've received the key of wisdom because you allowed yourself to go through those trials and tribulations in your life. And each trial and tribulation grew another branch on these antlers here. It's another pathway of intellect, of wisdom, another opening in your crown chakra through which you receive messages and guidance that are unique to your life path. How interesting. Oh, I love this. Okay, Spirit, what else would you like them to know? or get the other cards. So I have some cards here that I have just channeled intuitive messages. And we're going to see what wants to come out in here. They're a little sticky. Prepare for battle. Now, I don't know if you know what's going on in the US right now. I've seen some crazy headlines. I do need to catch up a little bit more on that. And I don't speak my political opinions on here, but preparing for battle doesn't necessarily have to be, I mean, you are prepared for battle. That's what you've been doing this whole time. Whether this is a physical battle, right? Preparing yourself, taking those steps to taking those steps to ensure that you've molded the key that is going to unlock the gate that you need, right? Now, this could be a battle in the physical sense, right? So maybe you want to prepare yourself physically, or save some water, or make sure that your passport is up to date, right? Just a minute, my kid's knocking at the door. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Okay. My little one's very curious what's going on in here. So we're preparing for battle, right? That's what you have been doing. I have the Midas touch, right? So what you've been preparing for, whether that's in the physical sense or just maybe emotional preparation for how to handle life's battles, right? What comes at you, the confidence to move forward, to get on that horse, whether that's, going for a promotion, going for a better job, making some big move in your career or in your family. Making sure that you are prepared for battle, not just in the physical sense, but also in the intellectual sense, right? Recognizing that. Can you guys hear that engine outside? Anytime there's distraction, it's bringing my attention to the message, right? Because either the devil is trying to throw energy into this reading to distract from the message because it's an important part of it, or the divine is just saying, hey, pay attention to this part. So right as I was saying that about your intellectual preparedness, and a lot of battles that are fought here on this earth are mental, right? They are mental, they are spiritual, and whatever, as above, so below, right? So when we see war and chaos happening here on the earth, it's a direct reflection of the consciousness of humanity as a whole, right? And I think it's essential here for you to recognize that your preparedness and your mental strength and your lived experience does matter. It does matter. You are an integral part to the next phase of life here on this planet, right? Are you prepared? Are you going to help, move humanity forward in whatever sense that is? Maybe you're a global leader, maybe you're just the leader of your family, but are you prepared, right? And that's requiring you to call on your lived experience and stand in the confidence knowing that, okay, even though it may have taken a while, I now have the key, recognizing that you have the key and you've earned it because you've lived it and you've allowed it time to grow. So you do have the Midas touch now, because the way that you're looking at situations is from this broader sense of making informed decisions, right? And not rushing into into the battle ill-prepared. There's something about that. Okay. Okay, so Spirit, what... where are they going? It feels, this Knight of Pentacles feels like he's going somewhere. He's all geared up. He's ready to go. Where is the collective going? What can they expect in their future calling on their lived experience and utilizing this alignment that they have now unlocked as the hierophant? Wow. The Devil and the Emperor. That's what you can expect. So Devil is opposition. Devil is fear, doubt, maybe concern that ooh, this almost feels like, how interesting. Is this the Knight against the Emperor? Can we get clarification? Who is this Emperor? Is this a challenge? I'm just noticing both of these bucks have a massive spread of antlers, and he has not yet claimed his throne, this Emperor, but he looks like he's about to. And this came out with the Devil was right underneath it. So it's like he doesn't look worried at all. He looks very confident, like almost as if he's challenging the Devil. Like, you can't stop this. I'm about to take my throne. Taking your throne in the sense of claiming what is yours, right? This could be claiming your potential as a soul, which the Devil does not want to see anyone claim their potential. He wants to convince you through fear and through doubt that you are not worthy of everything that God intends for you. He wants you to believe that you're not worthy of that throne. Can we clarify the Emperor? Who is this Emperor energy? The Emperor is the Nine of Wands. Lion, Leo season. I'm going to read into this. I'm going to read this Nine of Wands from the book. The 8 standing wands are like trophies to battles won in the past. Perhaps the trophies are all monuments to loss or the bars of a cage, since every conflict cost you something. But this determined lion grasps a 9th wand like a staff, ready for one final battle. Can't make this up. He's ready. He's ready for the final battle against who? Against the Devil himself. That's what it takes. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. That's what it takes for this Knight of Pentacles, for you, with all the wisdom, the lived experience that you carry in your crown chakra, right? You can access it at any time. You are connected, and the divine has your back, and you are about to take your throne. You are about to claim your potential and step in, because you have been preparing for battle, and you're ready for one last bout with the Devil himself, if need be. And this lion is, both of these, confident. Like, I'm not backing down. I'm about to take this wand, beat your butt, Devil, and then take my throne. That's what you're about to do, because you have the Midas touch. You've been preparing for battle. You had to unlock your hierophant, wisdom. You had to really smoky. Excuse the cat if you hear him moving around in the background. We just found his favorite toy, and he's very excited. Something that was once lost, or you thought it was lost. Maybe you mourned it. Notice how this hermit he's got his cloak on. Maybe you mourned something. You thought that it was something, maybe a skill that was long lost, or your potential you thought there was, and that's an illusion. It's just limiting beliefs that are stopping you from embracing your full potential and going for it. Hey. But you're ready. Okay, let me finish reading this. The Nine of Wands is a card of persistence in the face of trouble. How many times have you been knocked down and gotten back up, and now trouble is knocking at your door yet again? Be strong. Avoid excess of stiff defensiveness and rigid stubbornness. The Nine reminds you that with hope, faith, and determination, you are ready to swing that door wide and stride out to battle with pluck and resilience. Yes. Yes. He's going down. He's going down, and you are taking the throne as the emperor. You're graduating. You're graduating. The Knight of Pentacles, you've tapped into that crown chakra, that intellect, that spiritual knowing, and you're aligning. You're aligning your physical plane and your physical actions with lived experience, with intellect, and with your spiritual capacity. You just unlocked it. Now you're ready. All right. Final message. Obstacles. What are obstacles that the devil's going to try to throw at you to stop you from taking your throne as the emperor? And this doesn't need to mean that you're a man just because it's emperor. It's the emperor energy, right? The emperor he's a boss. He's a boss. Hello, he rules. He's a leader. Okay. Three of Pentacles. This beautiful, almost like tree that's blossoming. And this is what you can expect to happen. But I ask for obstacles. So obstacles. The King of Wands. And the Nine of Cups that came out in the reverse. I don't always read in the reverse. I am feeling called to leave this one in the reverse. Can we clarify that Three of Pentacles? Why is that an obstacle? The King of Wands, it's another lion, and he's dressed very formally. And if you notice, this lion here is just him, how he came out his mama, you know? So something about stripping down to the bare bones of what you are, and knowing that that's enough, and you don't need all this fancy regalia, right? As the King of Wands, you don't necessarily need all that, and some might try to rain on your parade. Rain on your parade? Convince you that you're unworthy of that. How is the King of Wands and the Three of Pentacles here the obstacle? Can we get clarification? Oh, Nine of Cups. So Nine of Cups, cups are emotions, right? And I'm noticing these two little lovebirds, but this was in the reverse. So this feels like a distraction that this King of Wands might be throwing at you. And this might be the devil's plan, is to convince you, hey, you don't belong on that throne. He does, right? You're the wrong lion. You're the wrong lion for the job. No, you're not. Because when you take away all this fancy stuff that he's got going on, what is he left with? One wand. He's the King of Wands because he's dressed like it, but when it comes down to it, who's got the skill? You've got all these wands backing you, right? It's like a fortress. You lived through it. He, not for nothing, this King of Wands does look like he just stepped in, like he was born royal. He's like, yes, I was born the king, and as such, I will hold this wand because this is what I know I was born for, right? But there's a sense of this lived experience, this tenacity, this tenacity to go after your full potential, to fulfill your full potential, to unlock the key of I just gotta breathe for a second. To fully unlock your crown chakra, to access everything that you are meant for. And this is what you've done in silence, in secret. So although the devil might try to convince you don't have all this fancy stuff, it doesn't matter. Strip down to nothing. Strip down to nothing and still ready to fight. Still ready for battle. You know why? Because you have the Midas touch. And you know why? Because you're about to claim your throne as the emperor. Just because he's dressed like a king doesn't mean he gets to sit on the throne. You're about to claim it. But the devil's going to try to use this against you, maybe getting in your head. I'm noticing, like I said, these two birds, and this came out in the reverse. So if this may be some type of partnership that's going to look like, ooh, why don't you come over here and drink from one of these cups? This feels like a romantic distraction. Look, we've got 3 pentacles for you. Well, if you're the emperor and you're sitting on the throne, you have a lot more than 3 pentacles. So this might be why this came out as the obstacle. Maybe pride, maybe stopping before you go all the way, I'm hearing. I heard stop before you get to the gates of the castle. Go all the way. Go find the throne. Open the doors of the castle. Don't stop before you get there. So for clarification, we have Justice and the 5 of Pentacles. And this 5 of Pentacles is, look, this tree is flowering, right? And beautiful and alive, but secretly it's dying. And this is in the reverse. You're not aware that what this illusion of a pentacle tree, you know, maybe the devil's going to try to use this someone in this King of Wands energy to convince you like, oh, that's actually meant for me, not you. Let me read this 9 of Cups and Justice. There's going to be justice. Don't worry. You know why? Because here we have the heart and the feather. Ooh, looking through a mirror. When you look in the mirror, you can see the truth. When you look in the mirror, you can see the truth. Is your heart light as a feather, or is there decay underneath? Hang on one sec. Sorry about that. She's eager for me to come play with her. I just want to read real quick this 9 of Cups. So 9 of Cups is wishes granted, delight, hedonism, joy shining in your chest, radiating outward and inward. Everything is light with exhilaration and dreams made real. The future is brilliant and simmering with fulfillment. This card is sometimes called the wish card and tells you that you rubbed the lamp and the genie magicked up your wishes. Love, health, work, everything is jackpot. Eureka, and I love you. It is a good time to celebrate and treat yourself well, an ideal time to send thoughts of gratitude to the universe. Don't forget to look in the mirror and smile a hello you and a thank you, since it was you who made the wish, you who persevered, you who found the lamp and freed the genie. You earned the reward of this oasis of pleasure and contentment. Just be wary of self-satisfaction and examine your success carefully. Is this joy really joyful? Is what you wanted what you really wanted? The 9 says, indulge yourself, enjoy yourself, but be careful of the tentacles of attachment whose arms can cling to you and bind. That's why. That's why he's trying to use this against you. He's trying to give you a 3 of Pentacles, but it's actually a rotting tree, and convince you that this is fulfillment. You know why? Because he doesn't want you to recognize your full potential and claim your throne. That's it. She needs me. That's the message. I gotta go. Don't be fooled. Look in the mirror. It'll show you the truth of your heart. Follow your heart. You have the key as the hierophant, and follow your intuition. You are prepared, right? So you can go all the way, and the devil doesn't want that. And he's going to try and use this King of Wands to convince you that, well, because you weren't born into it, and I'm the king, and you only have 9 wands, well, I'm the lion that should sit on the throne. No, you don't need all that, because your heart is pure. I gotta go. That's it for today. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe, share it, and share in the comments what's knocking at your door. What is Spirit calling you to go do? That's it for today. Peace out, world.